Something is killing the children. It's on Comixology Unlimited right now. Let's check it out. Something is Killing the Children is an ongoing comic book series created by James Tynion and Weather Del Adera. It's published monthly by Boom Studios, and it began in September of 2019. The series was announced as a 5-issue limited series by Boom on June 2019, but in August of 2019, ahead of the release of its first issue, it was announced that the series had been promoted to ongoing due to overwhelming early support from retailers and fans. In June 2020, Something is Killing the Children was nominated for Best New Series at the 2020 Eisner Awards, and that was James Tynion's first nomination. Alright, right now the first 12 issues are available on Comixology Unlimited. This is a very quick read. There's not a lot of dialogue or a lot of monologuing. It's very fast-paced, a nice little page-turner. The first, basically 5 or 6 issues, when the children of Archer's Peak in Wisconsin begin to go missing, everything seems hopeless. The few children that return alive have terrible stories, impossible details of terrifying creatures that live in the shadows. Their only hope of finding and eliminating the threat is the arrival of a mysterious stranger, one who believes the children and claims to be the only one who sees what they can see. Her name is Erica Slaughter, and she kills monsters. That is all she does, and she bears the cost because it must be. Erica Slaughter is the protagonist of the story, and she comes to the town understanding what's going on and believing the children, and she's going to go out into the woods and slay the monster that's killing the children. The next couple of issues, like 6 to 11, Erica Slaughter has slain the monster terrorizing the small Wisconsin town of Archer's Peak. But the horror is far from over. As her mysterious handler arrives, somebody from the House of Slaughter, that's where she's from, he begins to clean up the mess and quarantine the townsfolk. Erica sets off deeper into the woods because the monster she killed was a mother, and it had a nest of eggs, and now she needs to kill the children. The children are infested in the woods now, so the job isn't over. As we go from issues 11 to 15, the town now of Archer's Peak is in lockdown, as Erica Slaughter has lost control of the situation. But as the House of Slaughter arrives, her backup to the situation, they mean to clean it up by any means necessary. But Erica and the reader are now becoming more and more distrustful of this House of Slaughter. Like, what are their intentions? What are they really about? Why don't they just tell the world about these things that are out there? Why do they send these mercenaries out to take care of a situation and then not tell everyone what just happened and then send them to another situation to confine that area? Why not just announce it and have all foregoing situations in the future eliminated? So Erica and the reader are starting to question what is behind all this. So this is one of the most interesting aspects of this is the house that she's part of. They do a lot of flashbacks to the House of Slaughter. They do a lot of flashbacks to how Erica was saved by one of the monster killers when she was a child, and now she joins the House of Slaughter and she becomes one of the monster killers. And it's like an Illuminati type of group. It's very like occultish. And they're the House of St. George the Dragon is their symbol. Like dragon killers, like monster killers. So it's really interesting. It's a very quick read, like I said, and it's really a page turner. And each issue ends on a cliffhanger. So you get a cliffhanger at the end of each issue and wanting to go to read the next issue. So it's done really well. Even though I think this was going to be a miniseries or a graphic novel, I think it's really set up nicely for individual issues. It's done well. Right now, issues 1 to 12 is on Comixology, and the series is on number 16. Number 16 is coming out next month. It's got picked up for a TV show, so it's going to be made into a TV show. So the book itself is kind of hot, and there's some wonderful variant covers. A lot of artists are involved and doing these really cool variant covers, a little bit bloody, The genre is horror, so it is a little edgy looking, the artwork, and also it is pretty violent, and the graphics and the imagery is pretty cool. Actually, it's pretty dark, some of the stuff. So it's interesting. Another interesting aspect is not the protagonist, but like the second is a kid who had survived one of the attacks in Archer's Peak. His name is James, and Tynion always does this. He always has a character in his story that looks like him. And in this story, the character even has his name, like James, and he's got that moppy Beatles haircut like Tynion has, and he's got the glasses, and he always has a character inserted in the story that's somewhat like him. He also did that in My Medic. My Medic also had a character that seemed just like him, and I think he did that in The Woods also. So he always inserts a character like himself. I don't know what he's trying to say about that, if it's kind of trying to be like an Alfred Hitchcock kind of thing, where he puts himself in it, or if it's self-reflective, if it's like a meta kind of thing in his comic books. But it's kind of cool when you pick up on it. Erica Slaughter is a really cool character to follow as a monster killer. She comes to the town, she's going to take care of business. And the cast of other characters, the sheriff and the townspeople, they're all done well as well. So it's really good. And it's always the heady view of the book a little bit. It keeps you second guessing. I'm not quite sure where we're going with it. The book itself is not very totally original. When you're reading it, it's like, oh, I've seen this before. There's this thing and only the kids can see it. And it's a monster. And there's a lore behind it. Maybe, I don't want to say Stranger Things or 80s-ish kind of a Stephen King, but it does have that feel to it that I've seen this before, but maybe the way the parts are put together and the way it's presented and the way the story is told, it brings a shine to it, like a little bit of originality to it. So it is definitely a good read. So this is one of the more popular books out there right now, and I would definitely recommend this. This is a great read. It's a lot of fun. It moves quick, and the artwork is really interesting to look at. So I would definitely give this a high rating. I don't know if I would give this a super high rating. I would probably give this an 8 or an 8.5. I would probably give this an 8. I would give it an 8.0. This is definitely worth reading, and if you can, try to pick up some of the issues and collect them. A lot of these are going to be collectibles. The first issue right now I think is going for a couple $100 already, and it's only out a year and a half. So James Tynion is pretty hot right now, and this is another one of his good reads out there. This and Department of Truth and the Batman run. So if you can grab this right now, it's on Comixology. You can check it out, and you can read all 12 issues in like maybe an hour and a half. You can blast through them. They're pretty quick. They're pretty swift. So that's my review. Thank you so much for watching. And check out my other videos. And if I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. All right? I will talk to you guys soon.